think you're ready to start the podcast. Wait, no, hold on. Okay. Alright, cool. Hello, guys. Welcome to the In Rotation podcast. It's your boy, TBVV. Alright. Yeah, I've been wanting to start this podcast for a long time. It's really been on my mind. I dropped a repost yesterday for this guy who reached out to me on YouTube named McKester. Alright. And I also dropped one for Young Prozac, too. I don't know if Young Prozac's gonna see it, but fuck it. You know how we doing, man. You know, on my channel, we promote underground music because there's too much trash out there. You know, you gotta sift through the trash. That's kind of my job. I'm like a sifter. I sift through trash. I'm an opinionated person. I like giving my opinions on shit. So, right now, for the first part of the podcast, I want to fucking talk about some underground artists I've been listening to. You know, like, kind of like obscure, if you'll say. I won't really say obscure, because like, they have like a little bit of clout, they have a little bit of following. But they're just guys who like you don't really like hear about, you know. But I like their music, and I feel like they're doing something like real different with the music. So I'm just going to talk about a couple guys who are like that. So first, I want to talk about this guy I just stumbled upon. Named Sleep is for Mortals. I stumbled upon him from a fucking from a Vice documentary about Xanax and about the whole Xanax epidemic in the UK. And I just like found his music, and like they played like a snippet from his song Zero Healing, and I was like, this shit just sounds raw. Like it sounds like I could feel what he was saying.
I would never blame it on the mess. They complain, don't understand what's in my head.
So like I Googled him, right? And I found his SoundCloud, and I was listening to his music, and I'm like, wow, this shit is actually really, really cool. Like it's kind of like goth rap, I'll say. It's like goth rap. But it's not like emo rap, like Lil Peep and shit. It's just real nihilistic and just talking about his experience, you know, his experience with Xanax addiction and just being like depressed and having like fucked up mental health. And it's real like honest and authentic. And that's what I really like in music. I really like honesty in music and kind of just talking about your human experience, because like all art really just comes from human experience. And it's like the reason people fuck with like forms of art like films and movies and music and even just like regular art like sculptures and paintings and shit is because they can make a connection to what they're seeing and what they're listening to. And that's what I really feel with Sleep is for Mortals. Like I'm like, damn, like you struggle with just like feeling like you're a piece of shit your whole life, you know, like.
Yeah, and that's why I'm getting the tears. Like, yeah, like, I'm sad, but it's also to remind me, like, when you are sad, it just, like, keeps you stronger, innit? Like, just keep going. And lost, I'm gonna get tired because, like, sometimes I just feel very fucking lost, you know what I'm saying? Like, in this big-ass fucking planet, bro. Like, I'm just lost. Like, I have no home. Like, I ain't had a home in, like, 2 years, like 3 years. I haven't had a home in 3 years. I've been living with these guys like on and off and shit, like, so, but it's do or die, isn't it?
It's not really like that, you know, but like I can understand like feeling that way and kind of just having anxiety and feeling like the only way you can make it go away is just like through drug use. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people can understand that. But I don't think I can understand that. I can't understand it completely, but I know like a lot of people definitely can relate with that. And that's why I say like Sleep is for Mortals is like one to watch. And what I've noticed like consistently on SoundCloud, like mostly, is that a lot of artists are kind of trying to like fill the void that Lil Peep left. Every time I'm on topic, I just want to say I listened to the song 4 Gold Chains by Lil Peep. It's very fantastic, and like with every posthumous release that Lil Peep like puts out, or like his team puts out, or whoever does it, right? With every posthumous release, it makes it even more sad that Lil Peep died, because I didn't start really getting into Lil Peep until like October, when a buddy from college showed me his music, and I was like, who is this guy, right? And like first he played me, the first song he played for me was Awful Things, and then he played me Ben's Truck, and I was like, this shit's kind of like, I don't know, not that cool. But then like I heard like Star Shopping. And after I heard Star Shopping, I was like, well shit, I have to listen to his album now. And then right when I was gonna listen to Lil Peep's album, you know what the fuck happened? Dude dies. Like, he just died out of nowhere. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm just about to listen to your album and like fall in love with your music, if you will, and then he just passes. But anyway, back on topic, a lot of like SoundCloud artists are trying to like fill the void that he left with this kind of like emo rap thing. Like, there wasn't really anybody. Well, I can argue this. I can argue that there wasn't really anybody out there in the rap scene who was like taking like emo music, like sampling like emo, like the Postal Service and fucking Death Cab, right? Like, who the fuck was sampling Death Cab, right? Lil Peep's the only guy to ever do something like that and then like make music like that. Like all those fucking like emo kids from like the early 2000s and the 90s and shit, like Lil Peep made rap music for them. And that kind of just changed the whole fucking game. So now you got all like these guys out here who are trying to like fill the void that he left, right? The problem is they're all trying to mimic Lil Peep. They're not like trying to be like influenced or like make music that's like in the same genre. You know, they're all trying to mimic Lil Peep's sound, and that's really why the shit doesn't sound good. But like when I look at the Sleep Is For Mortals, it's like, damn, like I can see that he's coming from the same place that Lil Peep came from, but it's still his own story, you know? It's still like his own style. He's still like putting his own spin on his situation, even though it's a lot similar to like Lil Peep, and like that's why it's kind of like in the same genre. But it's still, like I said, way different. It's like not really emo rap, it's like goth rap. So yeah, Sleep Is For Mortals, somebody definitely look for. I also want to give a shout out to fucking Wes Blanco. Wes Blanco, he's not really like a new guy though. He's been out here in the underground scene for like forever, bro. Like, I found Wes Blanco from the Game and Illuminati like music podcast they used to have on Twitch. I used to watch that. What was it called? GI Radio? Yeah, I found Wes Blanco from GI Radio. Like, they played the song Chopsticks. I just was immediately just like blown away by this dude's like crazy ass flow, like southern ass accent. I was like, who the fuck is this dude, right? So then I like Google him on YouTube and I find like this vlog he made and like music videos and shit. And I was like, damn, like Wes Blanco is fucking dope. And get the clout he deserves. And that shit kind of makes him mad because he's really just like a fantastic artist. And he has like tons of like credentials. Like, you would have thought he would have like popped already, like World Star and like XXL and all that shit, but it hasn't really happened yet. So shout out Wes Blanco. Who else do I gotta talk about? Who to watch in the underground scene? Shit. Fucking DJ Ship. We gotta talk about DJ Ship. DJ Ship is cool. He like his music is kind of like in the same sphere as the like trying to fill the void of Lil Peep, but like I said, it's kind of coming from a different place, so that's why I kind of can fuck with it and I think it's cool. So shout out DJ Shit, and he had a partner. I think his name is DGB. DGB, he really is doing shit too. I really think they're gonna be big too, because when I said back to my main point, like trying to fill the void that Lil Peep left, but doing it in their own way. I think I probably should get away from that point, but screw it, right? It's my fucking podcast. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. So, who else? I gotta talk about AJ Suede, of course. Yeah, AJ Suede is cool. I heard AJ Suede's music from a vlog from this YouTuber. His name is the Aurora Kid, right? I heard of AJ Suede from the Aurora Kid vlog. And I heard the song fucking FEMA Camp, and that shit was just crazy, like just lit. Like it was lit in like his own type of way. I guess it's hard to explain. Like it's just like its own like type of lit. And I was like, what the fuck? Dude, this is crazy. Like AJ Suede, he's kind of like Craig Zen. Excuse me, he's kind of like Craig Zen with his own kind of spin on it. Smaller guys out there in the underground scene, like there's this local dude named Don't Be David. He makes kind of like lit ass like party music. It doesn't sound like anything else. It kind of, like I said, he has like his own little flavor on it. He's not really trying to like copy anybody. He's kind of doing his own thing. And then we got to talk about fucking I think that's everybody. Yeah, I'm at the end of the list. I think that's everybody. But yeah, that's a lot of guys trying to look for. But who have I been listening to like recently? Who has been in my fucking rotation? Like, just my music rotation. I've been listening to like a lot of Lou the Human and Excuse Me Out Slump God. But I guess I should talk about Lou the Human first. Lou the Human, I found him because I was just like scrolling through all like the fucking XXL hopefuls with no fucking clout, and I was like, who the fuck is this like white dude with fucking pink hair? Like, who the fuck is this dude? Oh, there's a fucking annoying ass lawnmower outside, but fuck it. So yeah, anyways, I see this fucking white dude with pink hair, and I'm like, who the fuck is this dude, right? And then he's like, I'm Lou the Human. I'm like, what? And this nigga said, I've been doing this shit forever. I'm a fucking super senior. I was like, nigga, I never heard of you. So I do a quick Google search on Lou the Human, and I find this shit called Humaniac, right? And I was like, what the fuck is Humaniac? So I played the first track, right? The first track, Lou's Dead. I played that shit. It blew me away. It blew me away with how descriptive it was. Like, the shit was as real hardcore, but like hella descriptive. A lot of rappers talk about, oh, I got all this guap, I got all these diamonds, I got water in my chain, I'll fuck a bitch, I'll fuck her guts up type shit. I'm like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone kind of tries to say the same thing, but he kind of like, he puts the image in your head, but he says that shit in a unique way. And like, I feel like that's really true to like the craft of just rapping and hip hop, is kind of just telling a story and conveying some shit in your own way. Like, there's this one quotable on the song Lou the Human, and he's talking about, I've been thinking about jumping off a building just to see if I can fly, or see if I can die. I'm a conceited kind of guy. God's son, or maybe the devil's a straight son, cause he probably left my ass for asking where I came from.
Shut up. I've been thinking about jumping off of a building just to see if I can fly, or see if I can die. I'm a conceited kind of guy. God's son or the devil's a strange son, cause he'd even probably leave my ass for asking where I came from. Are we there yet?
Like, that shit is like I can see that shit. I can see this dude like looking out a building like, should I jump off this shit, right? Like, see if I can fly, like a crazy motherfucker. Like, you know, like I can see that shit, kind of like relate to that shit. Cause like sometimes I be feeling like that. I be feeling like I'm fucking insane, and like I be thinking about all this weird, wild shit. Like, I remember I was in the mall with my homie, right? And like we were there around like, I want to say 10 a.m., 11 a.m., like early in the morning. Not early in the morning, but like kind of like early in the day, if you will, in the mall. It was a weekday, right? So we're there, and I see all these fucking like chains, right? Like diamond chains and shit, kind of sitting there on this like kiosk. And I was like, dude, like, could I hit a lick on this? Could I hit a stain on this? Could I just jug this shit like right now? Like, I'm thinking it in my head, so like I can relate to like thinking about doing some crazy shit. Cause I was like, just to see if I can fucking do it. Like, I really just want to take that shit, but like I wouldn't really do that because that's really immoral and really wrong, right? But the point of that story was I can relate to what Lou the Human was talking about, and the way that he said it, which is like really descriptive, and I really recommend everybody listen to Lou the Human. He's kind of like if Eminem was a bitch and she fucked Earl Sweatshirt and had a child and then gave that child up for adoption. That's how Lou the Human is. Like, he has kind of like an Eminem feel to him. He has kind of like an Earl Sweatshirt feel to him, but it's like he wasn't like, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's like they both had a kid and then didn't raise the kid, so the kid kind of had to like grow up in his own way. That's the best way to explain Lou the Human. Because you kind of like hear Eminem, you kind of like hear Earl Sweatshirt. You kind of like hear, some people in the comments of the videos were saying like Quasimodo and stuff like that. So like you kind of hear that, but it's still like, he still sounds like he's his own thing. You know? You still are like, this is like this is Lou the Human. That's who the fuck this is, right? So yeah, definitely listen to Lou the Human, really messing with him. But yeah, also Ski Mask the Slump God, he dropped an album, I think like 2 weeks ago, called Beware the Book of Eli. And that shit, let me tell you, alright, that shit is really interesting. It's a really, really interesting album. But I think the most interesting part of the album is because the entire thing is just like the sound and the aesthetic of the album is really, really just, what's the word I want to use? Disgusting. That's the word I want to use. It sounds like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, like the most like melodic and like, I want to say like musically aesthetic, I guess. Like the song that sounds the most beautiful, I guess you could say, I don't know, right, is the song Geekin', because he's just like, it's just Ski Mask and some dude named Danny something, I can't remember. He's like singing, I'm geekin', geekin', I can't feel my face cause I'm geekin'.
I'm geekin', geekin', I give her my face, I'm geekin'. She won't give me face, she eatin'. She won't give me face, she eatin'. I'm geekin', geekin'.
Yeah, that song's pretty cool. It's pretty chill. It's kind of like, if you're just hanging with your homies, like just smoking a blunt or like a joint or whatever, like, you know, of course if you're in California, right, or fucking Nevada or Colorado or anywhere on the West Coast, if you're anywhere out there, of course, right, you're just with your friends just chilling, and then you just like listen to music. That's the type of song you play. It's just a real chill song. You know, him just talking about he's geeking and shit. But then like the rest of like the album is just really, really like upbeat, really, really just like weird and like gross lyrics. Like, you know what the album is like? The album is kind of like the movie Heavy Traffic. Like, I've never finished watching the movie Heavy Traffic, and if you don't know what Heavy Traffic is, it's this really, really gross, racist, it's just disgusting. It's just it's a really, really gross and disgusting cartoon film, alright, about New York in the 1970s. And it's just insanely grimy and just like gross. Like, if you were an SJW and you watch this movie, it would make your stomach turn. Like, you wouldn't need a barf bag to watch this movie, dude. Cause it's that like, what the fuck, you know? And that's kind of how Beware the Book of Eli is. It's kind of just like, what the fuck, dude? And I think that's interesting. I like that. Because like, no one's making music like that, and it's really interesting. That's kind of how like Ski Mask the Slump God's always been. Excuse me. That's kind of how Ski Mask the Slump God's always been, you know. So I kind of figured that's the Ski Mask the Slump God we were gonna get. Because you know, if you listen to stuff like all his old shit with X, you know, you listen to all that shit, his lyrics are all like really, really gross like that. He talks about pussy a lot and like fucking bitches a lot. He talks about that a lot, but. Yeah, if you listen to that shit, you kind of get an idea, but this is like a standalone, like, full, like, project and shit. He has, like, I guess more resources, so it's like a full-on, just dead-ass, like, shit show, but in a good way. You know, speaking of shit show, let's talk about Playboi Carti. That was mean, but fuck it, man. That album Die Lit was kind of ass, I'm gonna be honest. Like, the beats were good on the album. The beats were pretty good. The features were cool, I guess. But it was a white noise album. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. So, like, a white noise album is kind of just like an album that, like, or like, even a white noise, like, musician, honestly. It's, like, really just a musician who, like, you just play their music in the background, and you kind of don't try to think too deep into it, because if you start listening to the lyrics, you're like, this shit sounds really, really fucking trash. Or like, Like, it's really just Playboi Carti just making noises over a beat. Like, he's like, yo, 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 yo. That's all I hear, like, Playboi Carti saying over a beat. It's not that good, man. Someone getting top, having money, like, having ice. I don't know. I didn't really listen to the lyrics. Like I said, like, none of the lyrics are memorable on the whole fucking album. It's called Die Lit. And, like, if you listen to the lyrics, it'll probably make you want to die sad, honestly. But the beats are good, though. The beats are very good. I think whoever, like, chose Playboi Carti's, like, producer, I don't know if it was Playboi Carti himself or, like, maybe the label or whoever, but that producer or producers, like, whoever, right? Whoever made those beats, they need to get a pat on the back, all right? And a fat check, because they carried that entire project. So, yeah, man. Playboi Carti, you disappointed me. Like, I remember back in the day when Playboi Carti made Broke Boy, I was like, wow, Playboi Carti's gonna be cool, right? Because, you know, like, that was, like, what, like, one of his first songs? Or, like, I'm not gonna say one of his first songs, but, like, his early shit, you know? And I was like, you know, maybe Playboi Carti's gonna keep getting better. I want to see what kind of artist he develops into, right? And then I heard Woke Up Like This with Lil Uzi Vert, and I was like, okay, well, Playboi Carti's gonna be like a Lil Uzi Vert type motherfucker. I don't really like Lil Uzi Vert. I don't think Lil Uzi Vert's a rapper. I think he's a fucking pop star who has a lot of rap influence. That's what I think Lil Uzi Vert is. But I don't want to get into that right now because it's gonna leave me in probably like a 40-minute rant about why Lil Uzi Vert ruined the image of my city by wearing a dress, and why I don't think he can rap. Or if he can rap, he's a sellout. Cause I saw this old video of Lil Uzi Vert rapping, but we're not going to get into it. We're not going to go there. But yeah, he made Woke Up Like This with Lil Uzi Vert, right? Playboi Carti did, and I was like, okay, well, this is the route he's going. That's cool, you know. The lyrics kind of spit on that was cool, and then like Magnolia came out, and I was like, oh, Magnolia, this song is really, really catchy. The lyrics are really bad, but it's super catchy, so I think that's cool, right? And now I'm listening to Die Lit, and I'm like, this shit isn't catchy. It's just, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, that's just me being honest here. Like, what are you doing? So, I didn't like Die Lit at all. But I did like K.O.D. by J. Cole. Well, I liked all the parts I've heard, because I haven't heard all of K.O.D. yet. But I did hear, like, the first couple songs, and I heard 1985. And, like, that shit was cool. Like, 1985 was interesting, because he kind of was just warning all the SoundCloud rappers, like, if you don't make meaningful music, your fans ain't going to give a fuck about you, and they're going to treat you like Soulja Boy. Fucking MC Hammer or some shit, like... yeah, like, you'll be a marker of the period, but your music won't be considered art. Well, I guess it will be considered art, but it won't be, like... This shit defined the genre, if that makes any sense. And that's just kind of what he was saying, and I think that's cool. Like, there's plenty of, like, rappers out there who, they kind of make music that's, like, hot for the moment, and then it's like, whatever happened to that dude, man? Like, wasn't he supposed to be, like, the next big thing? Like, whatever happened to Kid Ink, right? Like, I remember everyone was talking about how cool Kid Ink was, like, back, like, middle school shit, I think. And now, like, I've never seen this dude do anything. Like I said, that's just, like, he probably just made music that kind of, like, defined, like, that year and, like, that period. Or, like, I guess you could, in layman's terms, he was a one-hit wonder, and then you never heard anything cool from him again. But I don't know, I'm not a Kid Ink fan. I probably have triggered a lot of Kid Ink fans. I don't give a fuck, because this is my podcast. I talk about what I want. I've listened to Young Lean. Young Lean, he kind of is one of those dudes who's really interesting, because I, like, heard his music a few years ago, and I was like, wow, he's just like one of, like, those just basic ass SoundCloud rappers who's not really gonna he's not gonna make it. You know, his production's kind of shitty, right? And now here you go. Like I like heard somebody talking about Young Lean, so I Google him, and I'm like, Young Lean's actually famous? What the fuck? Like, I was really surprised. I was like, why is this dude famous? Like, I never thought his music was that good. But I don't know. Like, when I first heard Young Lean, it was when I first installed SoundCloud. So, like, maybe he was, like, really famous at the time, and I just didn't realize how many plays he had or anything. Like I said, I don't know. But I'm still surprised Young Lean's made it this far. His music isn't awful. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. I like the song Hurt though. That was like one of the first songs I ever heard by him a while ago. I also like Ginseng. That's another cool song. I've listened to Smoke Perp too. Smoke Perp is a guy who, like, I know his music is pretty fucking ignorant, but I still like his music. I still like Smoke Perp because he kind of does shit his own way. And like I said before, like earlier in the podcast, like, I like it when artists kind of do music their own way and they kind of try to like do their own thing, and like they kind of try to tell their own story. If that makes any sense. I remember the first time I heard Smoke Perp, my brother played his Dead Star album for me and my family, right? We were all like, hanging out, and he played the Dead Star album for us, and I was like, wow, this shit is cool. Into like, I don't care. I call like SoundCloud rap, like hardcore rap, like, you know, like that shit with like the heavy ass distorted bass and some dude just screaming over that shit and is like walling out, you know, just like hella excited, a lot of energy and shit. I started listening to that music, like, I want to say 2016, yeah, 2016, like, probably, yeah, 2016, right? And I was like, oh, this shit's kind of cool, right? But it's never going to really get famous because, like, it's just some dudes, like, screaming over a beat being lit all the time. Like, it's a meme, right? It's never going to be famous. And they should end up being famous. And then I'm like, well, like, I don't want to listen to a dude scream all the fucking time. That's kind of like how Smoke Perp is. Like, Smoke Perp doesn't always, like, well, he doesn't scream anything, but the, what do I want to say here? Jesus. This is my first time doing a podcast. Bear with me, right? So, yeah, like, Smoke Perp, I started getting into him kind of during that period of when I was listening to, like, all that hardcore, like, South Florida rap. And I heard the Dead Star album, and I was like, wow, like, this, like, production is really good, and, like, the lyrics are kind of, like, catchy, and it's just lit. It's just fun. It's just fun to listen to. Like, I will forever, like, just turn the fuck up when I hear the song Bless Your Trap, or I don't know you, or Phantom, or Krispy Kreme, like, all those songs. Like, I'll forever just be excited to hear that shit, because it's just super lit. Anyways, yeah, I listened to the Bless Your Trap mixtape with Murder Beats on, like, most of the production, and I was blown away by, like, the growth from the Dead Star album that Smoke Perp has made. I really was blown away by that, because, like, the production was a lot better. The lyrics weren't overtly better, but he kind of, like, has fallen into, like, his own little, like, category of, like spacey, just, like, vibey songs. Like, he has that one song where he's like, that is not my bitch, she for the gang, right? Like, it's just, like, real, like, vibey. Or even, like, spread on, got 100, spread it like it's mayo. I'm on game, though. Like, you know? Like, it's just real, like, vibey. That's what I like about, like, Smoke Perp. I don't really think vibey is really an adjective, but fuck it, right? This is my podcast. Fuck it. So I really enjoyed that. I didn't like every song, though, because, like, every song kind of, like, started sounding the same after a while. But I liked the songs that didn't sound the same, if that makes any sense. Like, I liked Do Not Disturb. I liked Big Dope. I liked Mayo. I liked For the Gang. Ways was kind of cool. And then the rest of them, I, like, what was it called? Pray, I want to say. I can't remember what all the songs were called. But, yeah. I liked most of them. But then after a while, it started sounding kind of repetitive. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. I'm just going to talk about my future plans. Okay, so future plans for the channel are, I wanted to, like, try to get another music video done, you know, for It Spit, Eon. You know, I made Gassed Up for him, and Gassed Up, it kind of, like, is one of the most successful videos on the channel so far. You know, it's at, like, it's almost at 300 views, which I know that's not, by no means that's not a lot, but it's a good amount for our tiny little corner of the interweb, you know. So yeah, I want to get another music video done. I don't know when that's gonna come together. I was thinking about making other types of content too. Like, I wanted to do vlogs, But the whole vlog thing didn't really come together. I just got super busy. So I don't even know if I'm going to keep doing vlogs. I'm definitely going to keep doing reposts. Excuse me, for artists and stuff. Keep trying to like build up this platform for music. I'm going to do that. I'm trying to like work on finding ways to get the subscriber count up so we can start doing live streams and stuff like that. I'm really interactive, building up a community around TBVV. And that's kind of really just my future plans right now.